In 2007, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came to the United States for the Nintendo DS, and it was awesome. This is the Pokemon game we were waiting for a very long time. Just when it seemed like Pokemon had let us down, bam! New game, new system, amazing game for a new piece of technology. The latest Nintendo handheld, the Nintendo DS, which by this point was completely kicking ass and taking names across the world. So, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which is in this little... I miss the days where you could actually have a picture on the game, but Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were delayed for a long time. They were supposed to come out in Japan in 2005. They got pushed back a year, and a year after that it finally came to the United States. But it was great. They added 107 new species of Pokemon for a grand total now of 493, which is huge, almost 500. As Chucks can tell you, it's pretty hard to get to that number. Keep going, Chucks. Go for it. You can make it. I'm not going to make it. Diamond and Pearl added 107 new Pokemon. Well, the coolest thing they did with that was they added 107 good Pokemon. I'm not talking like, oh, yeah, they had the new stupid bug things, but even that was a little interesting. What they did, though, was they added new evolutions to previously existing lines all over the place. Pretty much every single one of those old crappy Pokemon that didn't evolve at all or only evolved once and just wasn't strong enough to be a good pick for anything, they decided that's going to evolve now. Some of them, oh my, there's a huge list. Electabuzz evolves now. Magmar evolves now. Rhydon evolves now. Mischievous evolves now. Murkrow evolves now. Gliscor evolves. I could go on. There's just so many new Pokemon evolutions that are so good. What is it called? Weavile. The Sneasel now evolves into Weavile now and actually makes him a good Pokemon. There's just a ton of new additions that made previously existing lines they had actually useful now. So now there's a reason to catch the Piloswine, because you can now evolve it into a Mamoswine. Kick some ass with that. That was one of the cooler things I thought they could do with the game. The game itself was technologically a lot more advanced than the previous games. And I'm not talking graphics. The graphics were a little bit better. They had some 3D effects that made the world seem, more organic, more multi-layered, more of an actual world. But the coolest part of this thing was because of some of the DS capabilities. This thing could connect to the internet. So in the new Pokemon game, you could play people online on Wi-Fi, which is free if you got a Wi-Fi access point, which I don't anymore. But, so yeah, you could finally use your team of Pokemon that you've trained so hard and fight people across the world with it, and that's great. There's all sort of accounts on YouTube of people that have posted their fights, and very entertaining. I recommend MTG Xerxes. Xerxes spelled like the character in 300 or the historical figure, and Zelda Master Timmy too, I think. Zelda Master Timmy, either way, and the Shadow Project are all YouTube accounts I watch. But anyway, other things they did in this new game. You could trade with people online. There was a global trading station where you could actually set up trades. You could say what you wanted and what you'd be willing to give, and if someone else across the world in Japan or the Netherlands or Canada or Great Britain or whatever accepted that, you'd come back a couple days later and you find, holy crap, I have this new thing. That made it so much easier to get all the starters. Like, I have all the starters of all the games now because you can trade them with people. I think you may have had to seen them first to request them on the global trade station. But if you got a friend in, say, Great Britain or something that's got some of the starters, like Chuck's, which is where I got some of mine, that's how you could get them all. You just trade them back and forth. You do need friend codes, though, which can be kind of annoying, but you can go to any Pokemon-related forum and trade them back and forth. It's not really a big deal. I mean, there's a huge community on the internet for that. Another thing they did in this game, there's the usual setup. You pick 3 starters, you go out, you fight the 8 gyms, you fight the Elite Four, you defeat the evil organization. But there was a little bit of some changes in that. First of all, suddenly they decided, let's just make it hard. Like, some of the gym battles are not easy at all. they really set up their team well to predict against Pokemon that you're going to use to take them out. Like, you know, all the gyms have the same type, right? I mean, it's easy to figure out. This one's not that easy. They pack their Pokemon with moves that'll take out that type that's supposed to kick their ass. In fact, by the last gym, the electric gym, he's got 2 electric types, a water type, and I think a normal type for some reason, so that's just throwing all sorts of stuff at you. The Elite Four is hard. Every single one of their team, every single team that they throw at you has at least one Pokemon that'll just drive you nuts. And the champion has 6 Pokemon that'll drive you nuts. Any one of those can kick your ass. So it was nice to have that sort of difficulty. I went into the Elite Four at with the level 45 team, and it took me so long to beat that. It was just damn hard, which is nice. In the beginning of the game, there's only 150 Pokemon, which is cool. It gives you a great appreciation of some lesser known Pokemon, like for example Rapidash. I appreciate Rapidash a hell of a lot more because it's the only fire Pokemon they give you except the starter. Things like Golduck. New appreciation for Golduck. So 150 Pokemon, which is a mix of old and new, and once you beat the game, or defeat the Elite Four, and you see all 150 Pokemon, which is not very hard. If you need to see the other legendary, you just go to a certain house in a village, which you can find on guides online. And then there's so much more to do. There's a whole other island to explore where you can find a great battle tower, including a double battle area and all sorts of things to explore. Pokemon from the older games start showing up in a variety of ways. It's just, there's just a lot I could say about Diamond and Pearl that are really good. Your old game packs, you could actually use them. You could transfer your Pokemon from this game into this one. Put it in the controller slot, you go to something called Pal Park, and you could transfer 6 Pokemon a day from each pack. I don't know why only 6 Pokemon a day, but that's what they did. You could transfer the Pokemon from the old game. The fact that you have this game in this slot actually makes different Pokemon appear in the DS game, which is interesting. It actually gives you a reason to go out and play those games again, or make a new team again, which is kind of cool. What else can I say about Diamond and Pearl? It has sold 15 million units. Holy shit. That is, I want to say it's topped only by the original release. These games, I don't know if you say it repopularized Pokemon, but it's the game that a new generation bought, and then the old generation came back and bought it too. This was the reason I bought a DS, because the new Pokemon game was just gonna be awesome, because I wanted the new Electivire, because I wanted all those Pokemon. It's just a good game. If you haven't played a Pokemon game since the first one, I recommend, if you have a DS, or even if you don't have a DS, going out and getting Pokemon Diamond and Pearl for the DS. It's a good damn game. I can't go on enough about how fun it was and how much I enjoyed it. Still, I've played over 600 hours, which is insane, but sometimes, you know, I won't play it for a while, then I'll just play a bunch of hours again. It's a good damn game. It's so sweet. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Believe it!